discussed what we ended with Lewis Tiant. He's got a book out called Son of Havana, and he feels he should be in the Hall of Fame. All right, I'm not against Lewis Tiant in the Hall of Fame. Donovan McNabb, yeah, I didn't think he was Hall of Fame. Lewis Tiant, getting right over here. Lewis Tiant has said, hey, look, don't put me in posthumously. Don't put me in posthumously. Now, that's kind of a sad take to have. He isn't the only person to ever say that. Ernie Lombardi was a catcher. We're talking about sports goats. The 1939 World Series, actually, he was, again, probably unfairly made out to be a sports goat. Ernie Lombardi was a catcher for the Cincinnati Reds. He was a great hitter. He was a very slow runner. Won a batting title, which is not easy to do as a catcher. Now, 1939 World Series, Reds are swept by the Yankees, but in the 10th inning of the 4th game, there's a play at the plate, and Ernie Lombardi takes a knee to the groin. And you can imagine, ball falls from him. He can't move. But before any of his teammates could get to the ball and maybe cover home plate or something, another runner scored. And so the Yankees basically won a World Series in the 10th inning on a Lombardi injury nose. In fact, one sports writer dubbed him the Cyrano of the catchers of Mask, or the Cyrano of the backstop, or something of that. He did schnoz. So schnoz is snooze. It was total unfair. He was injured. He took a knee to the groin on a play at the plate. Come on. And that may have actually kept him out of the Hall of Fame while he was alive. And Lombardi did not live a very happy life after his post-baseball career. Struggled with relationships. Once tried to commit suicide. Before he died, he said, don't let him put me into the Hall of Fame after I'm gone. Well, he was enshrined posthumously. I don't know. It is sad, like I said. I think it's better posthumously than not at all. I will say that. If you can't get me in while I'm alive, yeah.
And like I said, I told my family, if they put me in there, after I die, I told you, don't go. Don't go nowhere. Because I don't want to go. I don't want my family to go. Happened, like I said, it happened to Ron Santo. A lot of these guys, many are now look at Mini Mignosa, one pot, one boat. And next year he died. Santo. They know he got diabetes. He losing both legs. Why you not put him in?
Yeah. With Tiant, but no, he's got a point. Does he not? Hey, there was something I wanted to say. Let me go now some happy music. What do you say? Let's do something happy here now. There was something that occurred in baseball yesterday that not only puts it to its, I think that you may have heard right there. I'm not sure that my mic was on for the radio listeners. It was for Facebook. I'm going to have to repeat myself here. Forgive me here, but you heard me talk about two things. First, you heard Luis Tiant and him saying, don't put me in after I may have heard was Ernie Lombardi, who was the catcher for the Cincinnati Reds, who did not make the Hall of Fame until after he had passed. Lombardi was a great hitter. He was one of the first, I think he was only the second player to win a batting title as a catcher. Very hard to do. He was a great hitter, extraordinarily slow runner, though. But yeah, he's a catcher. Do you need to be, a real fast runner and that sort of thing? Was victimized, we're talking about sports goats, 1939 World Series, play in the plate, fourth game of the World Series. Reds are down 3-0, but it's an extra inning game. And home plate collision, and Lombardi takes a knee to the groin. And he's basically knocked out. And it allows a runner to score and another runner to score who was also on the base pass, effectively clinching the series for the Yankees. The man was injured. And yet the press of the time called it Schnatz's snooze. As I said, Ernie Lombardi had a very big nose. Somebody once named it the Cyrano of the face mask. This. And he did not live, and a lot of people think that play, unfairly criticizing him as a GOAT, much as Lombardi also did not live. He struggled for money. In his 60s, he worked pumping gas, struggled with relationships, once even tried to commit suicide. So, yeah, I'm really in on the downers here today. I told you that at 115, if you needed to be depressed, if you wanted, that you couldn't find your sad soul and nothing but families killed, and the husband finds out after he wakes up from a coma. That was actually Howard Moore, assistant basketball coach at Wisconsin. I mean, it's just absolutely heartbreaking. So we got to come up with something happy, don't we? We even found a way. I mean,
home plate. He stole second. He stole third. Winded up it, and Mallex broke for the plate. The thievery of Mallex Smith tonight. 3 stolen bases in 1 inning. That's all you can do. And Smith has 4 steals on the night. Holy smokes, and the Mariners lead the Rangers by a score of 6-2. How about that?
That was the final score. Mariners beat the Rangers. But, yeah, I was talking about how uncompetitive the American League West is after the Astros, and it is. A's win 10 in a row. Hey, you're still 6.5 out. But how about that? Mallex Smith stealing second, third, and home in this power era and doing it all in the same inning. Stealing for the cycle. I think Ty, but that is a rarity. And as the stolen base becomes more and more out of favor, that is really a rarity. I know it's been done sometimes. I can recall there was a pitcher who once did it. And what had happened is that ball game was about to, if I recall correctly, there was a team, and they were trying to speed up so it would get 5 official in before it. Hey, try to steal second, third, and put me out. Let's get to the 5th inning. Losing team is like, you know what? If we can get this thing rained out, you want to steal second, third, and home? Go right ahead. Well, it didn't work out. Game did count and all this, but But I still Mallex Smith of the Mariners. Hey, you do not see that much. I am very excited about that because I want to see more. I want to see more stolen bases. I want to see more small ball. I want to see more close games in baseball. This home run derby has gotten to be extraordinarily boring. Strikeout or home run, there's no strategy in that. Speaking of which, that's been Bryce Harper, only the home runs haven't been coming. And Bryce Harper is acknowledging it. Gabe Kapler is saying, I have no doubt that he'll come around. Phillies lost yesterday to the Brewers, 9-1. They still lead the Braves by a game and a half, but the Braves picked up a half game. They didn't play yesterday, so it was a really, really good pitching matchup from Brandon Woodruff, who struck out 10. But anyway, Woodruff for the Brewers, excuse me. Anyway, Harper struck out 3 times, twice on high fastballs of 97 and 98 miles an hour. And the feeling is he's struggling with the fastball. Now that I'm kind of curious about. I wonder if wives' tale. Don't get too muscle bound. But trust me, I've known ball players who became bodybuilders. And they got so much bulk in them, they couldn't get around on a pitch more than 85 miles an hour. I'm talking to a guy who's like 265 of muscle. You wonder why baseball players generally aren't built such a way. Oh, you've got big muscular men, don't get me wrong. You should see Jose Canseco sometime. I mean today. Or his brother Ozzie, who looks just like him. But, yeah, you get over that 230 mark, and you do have trouble getting around the fastball. I would love to know what Harper's weight is right now. Anyway, Fighting Phil's, they're stuck with him 13 years, unless they can release him, or, then they got to eat the contract, or, trade him, I suppose, that sort of thing. So, close out this. Is it wrong to like the New York Yankees? Is it wrong? Dun, 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 dun. And on Sunday, he explained why he was a Mets fan. And he says, and this is tweeted out by Roger Cormier, by default, I was a Mets fan because I knew being a Yankee fan was the wrong thing to do morally. Yeah, disrupt the competitive balance of baseball. And you have for, since about 1920, since you made that deal with Harry Frazee for Babe Ruth, pushing for, the Philadelphia A's to move to Kansas City so they could be committing suicide back in Philly because he lost his job. That happened. Oliver has something. Now, Oliver's from England, but he came over to America, and he said, even I know it's just not acceptable to come to America and root for the Yankees. And he says, by default, I was a Mets fan because I knew being a Yankees fan was wrong. Also, I started working with Jon Stewart, whose Mets loyalty, Oliver said, made it mandatory to pledge his baseball allegiance to the Amazons or the other side of the Triborough Bridge. Oliver has also called the Yankees in the past the biggest elitist a-holes in all of sports. Again, 5. Then again, what have the New York Yankees won since 2009? I'm Marky Billson. It's Tri-City Sports Now. See you tomorrow. Colin Coward is next.
WEMB